All right, Taurus, let's move on with your reading. And I like the first card in your, the first position, rather. This is the same as the Temperance card. They call it the Sete. I'm not pronouncing that right in this particular deck. But as you can see, she's tempering her world. She's hearing the guidance through her angels and her guides and the spirits around her so that she can manifest. Like she has this cauldron of soup, and see how she's manifesting and she's pouring into the soup almost like she's intently listening of what she's hearing so that she can combine the spiritual and the material worlds together. So feeling like this is not necessarily a new platform for you all. I do feel like that you've been doing this, but I feel like it's coming in a different format. Let me say it that way. There's reason for you to celebrate your uniqueness. I'm going to go along with that. Reason to celebrate who you are as an individual. Listen to your intuition as well. She not only has the fairies here, but she has the purple flowers. That's psychic intuition. I think you can be very, very good with people, have good people skills and conversation. I think you can talk to people and explain why your opinion, why the resolve should be one way, and it makes sense and be good for the others around you. It's not like you're trying to talk people into anything, but you are wanting them to understand where you're coming from, your viewpoints. I'm not feeling big arguments or anything like that. I'm just saying if you're in a group of people, you might give suggestions. I think that this card indicates that because you are listening to the spiritual guides, the candles are lit. I love that. She has everything she needs around her, her tools, and she's listening to what is channeled to her. Then she can go ahead and give guidance to herself and others in a very mild way. This isn't the kind of thing where you're like not even like if you're a supervisor or the owner of a company or a landlord. I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling that in conversation with a group or an organization or a company. And that you say, well, we could service our clients in a way that we haven't done before. And this is a reason how. We can serve them mints and tea when they come into our building. I'm just saying, you may have some social skills that pop up that are comforting to others as well that you're around. That's coming up quite a bit for me, for you all. And remember, this is Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising, so make sure and watch your Moon and Rising as well. Okay? The next card is the Seven of Swords. And I'll relate all the cards to each other. So the seven's about being analytical. 7 is about being shrewd, having a plan. And as you can see, this guy has been in the forest. He's come back with a catch here. You can see whatever he's been hunting. And he's walking back up to his home and his spouse. Yet he's turning it around and looking back in the forest like, he did well. He's thinking, though. He's doing a lot of the themes. This is what this card is. The themes in this deck it's the same as swords. So a lot of times, the Seven of Swords can mean like a thief or taking off with taking more than. I'm not really sure that. I feel like that this is more about some shrewd planning that you're doing. This may be within a corporation, a medical facility, the military. It could be if you're part of the military that, yeah, definitely some shrewd or tactical planning, correct? But I feel like that's what you are. I feel like, Taurus, you're going to be very, very shrewd. And it's not only with a company. It can be in a group organization, your home, your family. You're making plans for the future, because the next card would be the 8. And the 8 of Swords, well, not necessarily the 8 of Swords, because that's when we feel bound. But an 8 in numerology is power, a manifestation. So the next thing he would do after he analyzes is he's shrewd enough to manifest. I think that's big for you guys this month, being very shrewd, or the end of this month, second half of. Well, and I was talking about the 8 coming next. So this is the 8 of Wands, which would be the same as 8 of Rods in traditional tarot. And this card's a little bit different. Normally when we see this particular card, there's 8 rods flying through the air. There's not a woman sitting down looking at her different rods. But I feel like this is perfect for planning and calculating, because that's really what she's doing here. She's planning and calculating a for sure move that's coming next, or news, or travel. I feel like that's coming up for you guys. That's what this card indicates, is actually sometimes news within 2 to 3 days. Sudden news, quick news of needing to relocate, and I say relocate, maybe not your entire home, but go on a particular project that's out of town, or could be go on vacation for a certain reason. But there is usually a reason, a business reason behind it, because it is the Wands. So some of you may be asked to do that. Well, do you mind going out of town for us? Do you mind, or it could even be in your local area, do you mind traveling over to ABC company to show them our new plans? You know, but it does mean sudden, quick news. It does mean travel. It means relocate. So she's planning out how she's doing this here. And it's after careful consideration of what you've already done. You've done the planning. Now you're ready to take action on those plans. And again, this could be news coming out of nowhere for you. But it is good news. Usually this quick, sudden news is financially good, because of course it is, like I said, the 8, and I was talking about the 8 a minute ago, prosperity. And also because the 3 cards below it all feel good to me. And this has been happening with this particular spread with these readings, is for a lot of the astrological signs, the first row is okay, but the second row is really delightful. That's where I'm getting the punch or the power. The Wheel of Fortune comes under this Patience, this Temperance card. And I was talking about good people skills. I feel like this, doing that and really staying grounded and being in your present in your world, is going to open up new opportunities for you, Taurus. The Wheel of Fortune is that. I mean, it's the stars are aligned. There are ebbs and flows of life. There are the ups and downs, but now you're in a positive cycle. And this can mean your work. It can mean your personal relationships. It can mean your spirituality. It really encompasses all of our being. It could be that you are growing a garden or herb garden. I mean, it's just a positive flow of energy in whatever direction is for your best and highest good. And these are 2 major arcana cards right here together. Actually, you have 1, 2, 3 major arcana cards in this particular spread. And you know, I look at how these cards catacorner each other. So the Wheel of Fortune is catacorner to the 7 of Swords, which is about being shrewd, careful planning in your corporation, in your organization, wherever you are. There's a lot of good aspects, promising aspects around that. I love this wheel. It has a sunflower and has grapes and the Halloween guy, jack-o'-lantern. And also, this is a unicorn. So all the different ebbs and flows of life, but you are on top. The arrow points towards you. And I love the card next to it too, is the Queen of Chalices. So the same as the Queen of Cups. And this is someone who uses her love, her compassion, her artistry, her nurturing, and she just embellishes that. She embellishes people around her. She encompasses it. She gives it to others. So it's a flow. You know, you see the water flowing. She gives it, she receives it. I feel like this is the foundation card of the whole spread, is this Queen of Cups. This could also be a water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You can see the crab here, and of course it is, that would indicate Cancer, but this is the Moon card is actually the Cancer card, but it could be. I mean, this is a water sign for sure. And I feel like she's the foundation. So if this is someone who's supporting you, the water's flowing, around her is the Wheel of Fortune, on the other side of her is the Justice card, she's holding the cup. Yeah, I feel like you're standing on your own. It's funny because she's standing on this rock, but I feel like you're able to stand on your own, but you're able to receive the love of others. I mean, you know, again, a lot of people say that these are definitely water sign. The court cards are definitely either the water signs, the fire signs, the earth. You know, it could be you embellishing this or taking on these aspects of her, or it could be someone that's so supportive of you, or it could be someone who felt like they were very supportive of you and they're in the spirit world. But this is very romantic, loving woman. The water's washing over the rocks. So I feel what it is. This is almost a sense of renewal. That's why I'm focusing on this card so much. There is a sense of renewal around this person or around this essence. Because the water, for me, is bringing in a much needed component to this particular reading. I see a lot of earth, which is fine, which is you all, right? Very earth-oriented. But then this water comes in. And this cup is huge that she's holding. She could actually dip down and I don't know how much water that would be. It almost looks like, not quite a gallon, but who knows? It could be. So there's plenty of emotion and compassion to tap into. This person may be around you, but I feel like you're picking up on their essence. I love that. And next to her is the same as the Justice card. This is called the Standing Stone. And in the mystical times, the standing stones was an area where the council went to arbitrate. And there was always enlightenment around the standing stones and around what they were, the decision that they made. As you can see, the light shining through. There's the Libra scale, so there's balance, there's fairness. There's daisies around the rocks, so the mystics would gather on the rocks. So it feels like, I was talking about this could be around a corporation or military earlier. It could be a military sense of fairness or legalities. But it feels like that there's balance. Oh, wow. Okay. This card is Temperance, which is about balance. And what is this about? Well, fairness, balance. So your month, Taurus, is very much about staying grounded, staying calm. I feel a very, very much of a calmness, especially around these cards. And even this is the one that's just, you're being a little bit shrewd, which is fine. We need to be. And I do feel like for some reason, this particular stone should go on this rock. This is a carnelian. And this is second chakra. It's about your creative and your intuitive juices. It should really be connected to this woman. Your emotions. Stay balanced with your emotions. I feel like really, again, watch your moon or rising, but I feel like this could be a really a smooth month or rest of the month for you guys. It almost seems like it's going into March because I keep saying month, and I'm actually doing this in mid-month February. And some of these readings have seemed like they're going past the time of like end of February. So if it goes into March, so be it. Okay, the Ten of Pentacles comes up for a clarification card. Well, this is generational, home, family, money, can be spiritual, generations past that are around you, and you have their belongings, or you're reminded of your childhood. As you can see, here's a child, here's the couple, and the wiser older gentleman. He may not be around any longer. He may be a grandfather. There's a castle. So it's reminding you of your heritage. The magician, or excuse me, the Hanged Man comes up. I almost said magician. Well, you can become a magician when you take a time out like the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is doing this on purpose. He's meditating on what his next move is. He's being shrewd like this guy, because when he stands straight up, it feels like he's dancing. But he wants to take a time out every so often, a pause. Doesn't have to be a long vacation, just a moment to reflect. Four of Cups. Well, some of you may have felt a little bit restless recently. I feel like, like I said at the beginning of the reading, she has 3 full cups here, and she's been angelically given another one. She's a little bit restless. So I feel like any type of hobby, creativity, it could be journaling, it could be, what is it now that people do is these coloring parties. I mean, or anything. You don't even have to do it with other people. It's just a feeling of motivation or inspiration. Sometimes it may be feeling like, this is such a feeling of needing to stay balanced, that you're like, okay, where can I bring in my right brain creativity? Some of you have had to draw the line in the sand and say, well, no, things need to go the way we planned, the way I want to do them, or this has been someone with you, and you're needing to stay. I get this. You're needing to stay balanced. What can I say? So that new inspiration can come up. This is the Ace of Rods. And it came up kind of sideways. So you're also balancing that. So any inspiration you get, you're going to question it. You're almost going to say, well, do I have time, or should I even be thinking that way? I'm feeling so much like I need to stay in my practical mind. But I feel like some of you are going to receive new inspiration and ideas, and it may not be something that you use right away, but I feel like it can enhance you at some point. It can enhance your work, can enhance your spiritual life, your physical self, your emotional being, all of that. Okay, let's add the cards up, Taurus, and this is 14 and 7 is 21. And 8 is 29, right? 14, 7 is, 21, 28 29, 39, 40, 51. I'm going to do it backwards because there's more cards this time. I want to make sure I'm correct. 11, 12, 22, 30, 7, and 14 is 41. Yeah, 4 and 1 is 5. 5 keeps coming up, and 5 is about, okay, so this must be a universal message. In numerology, 5 is about freedom, feeling unrestricted. And my feeling is that it's self-imposed restrictions. Can be from others, but feeling the freedom from your own self-imposed restrictions. And the 5 in the major arcana cards is the same as the Hierophant, I believe. Let me make sure. Yes, it's the same as the the high priest, which is about spiritual teaching, social organization, scholarly pursuits of spiritual teachings. So it may be that there's an underlying pursuit of that around what you're doing in your life. Maybe that's where some of this travel is going. could be for business, but maybe you meet other people that are like-minded at this particular conference or this particular seminar, if that's where you're going, or if you're moving and or traveling to a different country, pick up on a different culture.